Guys, it's hard to doubt a guy that has defended his title, that has gone up in weight division, has had close fights against the number 2 pound for pound. You know, the biggest thing, you know who I'm going for? I am going for Ilia Topuria, but it's hard to go against a guy who was very well-rounded, who has fought that level of competition that Alexander Volkanovski has. There's one thing that I would say that would make me really comfortable to bet that house on a guy like Ilia Topuria, because I am going for him. If he can protect his leg kicks, and if he can bring back some of that Georgian wrestling into this fight, I could see Ilia Topuria not only just beating him, but actually dominating in this fight. I don't doubt this man.
And I think Ilia is coming off on the other side a little bit too much, in my opinion. Okay, Alex Volkanovski is coming off that fight against Islam Makhachev. He wants to make a statement, right? He wants to make sure everybody knows he is king at featherweight. This guy's still undefeated at featherweight, has beat the best of the best of the best at featherweight. So I'm sure he wants to remind everybody of that. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see him come back, put on a show for the people, and put a little humbleness in this young man here in Ilia, right? So I'm excited for that. UFC 298 coming up soon. I think Alex is going to destroy this guy. I think Alex is going to bring him back down from the clouds, right? Like my mama used to.
I think Volk gets this fight to the ground. I think if he gets him to the ground, Topuria's black belt's not going to matter much. Volk is going to put the pain on him. I just don't see Topuria as, he got a submission on Bryce Mitchell. He worked Bryce Mitchell quite a bit before that. I think on top, Topuria would do well against pretty much anybody, but on the bottom, I just don't feel it. I'd be really surprised if he could pull anything off from the bottom. On top, I totally trust Topuria's jiu-jitsu, ground and pound. I think, he's on top, he's going to do well. On the bottom, underneath Volk, nobody's done well. I mean, just the best you can do is get up. I've never felt that. Okay, Ortega did well. Ortega put him at a full triangle, the best triangle guy in the game, and Volk got out. Will it go the distance? I don't think so. I think if we see classic Volk is going to finish it. I don't think Topuria can take Volk down. If he shoots in Volk's legs, he's going to get stuffed. He's going to get crushed. That's a huge mistake. Trying to take Volk down, I think, would be a huge mistake.
Ooh, okay. That's another one that's going to be really, really tough for Volk. I'll lean towards Volk because of the experience, but I think that's going to be a way tough challenge for him.
Like Volkanovski's not gonna give him the same kind of opportunities that Josh Emmett did, for example. And I also think we might see Volkanovski wrestle Topuria as well, because if Volkanovski gets in top position, he knows that Topuria is gonna get stuck there. He has in lots of his fights. Even if he's been on the back and he's fallen off and lost the rear naked choke position, he stays on his back, starting to search for arm bars and stuff. And I don't know. I'm thinking Volkanovski's going to do it. I think it'll be a tough fight, but I think he'll eventually get to Topuria and put that first loss on his record. Might be a rough couple of rounds, but I think Volkanovski's going to lean into his experience in this one and drag it into the later rounds, and force Ilia Topuria to deal with a really swollen leg and constantly giving him new looks, changing his stance and drifting in and out, rushing, throwing bombs over the top.
Topuria got power. He could finish Volkanovski for sure, but I think the experience, the time spent on the cage, the fight caliber that he faced like Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo is not an easy guy to stop, and Alexander Volkanovski did on Brazil, like working on the cage. So I think he will use a lot of grappling, a lot of clinching, trying to get Topuria tired, and Topuria will be rushing to get the knockout, in my opinion. And if he doesn't get the knockout on the first 2 rounds, the fight's going to the 3rd, the 4th, and then Volkanovski will accept.
Individual, man. I think he beats everybody not named Alexander Volkanovski. I think he can beat Ortega, he can beat Yair Rodriguez, he can do this to all these other guys. I'd love to see him and Max Holloway. I give him the edge over all those guys, but when it comes to Volkanovski, just the confirmation I got from his first fight with Makhachev, there's not a 145er or a featherweight on this planet who can hang with him. Not even remotely close. He's too good. He's too good. and you're going to see it Saturday night. And this isn't a knock on Topuria, but you're dealing with a once in a generational talent in Volkanovski, and everyone seemed to forgot, including the odd makers. I'm all my chips on Volkanovski. Definitely can't get hit with that left hook from Topuria after getting knocked out just a few months ago. But you know what I'm saying. I think he's going to avoid that. He's going to remind everybody how special he is.
You know, Alex Volkanovski, he's been so good at outstriking people who are bigger than him. But I think he's going to have his hands full with Ilia Topuria, because Ilia Topuria is good at boxing. I don't necessarily know if he has the speed of Alex Volkanovski, but I think Alex Volkanovski has had more wars with better opponents.
I think this one's going to turn into a striking matchup, and I think that favors both of them just fine. They're amazing strikers, okay? Now, I can't give a prediction because I'm commentating this weekend, and that would just be insulting. But I can say this. No man alive would predict Volkanovski to get finished in round 1, okay? Just because Islam did that, that was a head kick. He was on short notice. He was stepping up a weight class and taking on the pound-for-pound number 1, okay? No offense to Topuria. He ain't going to do that, but he might win the fight. Volkanovski says he's going to finish him in round 2. That would be something as well. So it's going to be fantastic.
Ilia is a beautiful fighter. I think his boxing is something that's magnificent to watch. I like the look that the Matador has been bringing to the game. Yeah, he's good for the sport, but you know who's great for the sport? Alexander Volkanovski.
Official pick?
Alexander the Great Volkanovski. I'm gonna go late stoppage, round 4. Yeah, round 4.
KO submission?
KO or TKO. I think it's just gonna exhaust him. It's different when you're in the championship rounds, but you have Alexander Volkanovski in your face. You can have your training partners, but no one's gonna simulate that in your face. You can have a fresh guy, but no one's gonna simulate that in your face and tenacity like Volk does. Because you're like, I've just punched this guy, or I've just missed every shot. He keeps coming, and it drowns people. I've seen it happen live in fights and in training. So yeah, I think that's what he's gonna do. Ilia's only shot is early on, 1 or 2. After that, I see it just going downhill for him from there. But yo, that's my dog, and I'm sticking to him. Roll the dice.
What's the prediction on the fight?
Prediction is I teach him a good lesson. He's going to be embarrassed. He's going to eat some of his words, and it's going to be maybe the start of his journey. Again, he's young. He is confident. I'll humble him. He's bounce back and start after I give a good ass beat.
Round 2?
Round 2, I think. I think I crumbled him in the first. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that he's going to be an easy fight, but I think just how confident he is, he hasn't been able to prove that. I prove that every time I step in this gym. I push myself to the limits. I don't know if he does. He doesn't act like it, so I'm going to push him. And I think I crumble him inside the gloves, and I get the finish soon after that.